Hi to all you beautiful souls out there. Today's video is going to be my part 2 to my part 1 of why is this happening. In the part 2, I was explaining in the part 1 that the part 2 is going to be about solutions, about what can we do to move forward in all of this craziness. We really have got to change the way we're thinking. We have got to change the way we are going about doing everything that we have been for the past few months and also for several decades. And what I'm talking about is our thinking. Well, first of all, we have got to understand that by when we're shaming someone on Facebook or on any of the social media, that is not helping. We don't like to be shamed from anybody, and then yet we forget about that and we do it. And this is not to shame you. It's just how I just want you to become aware of how some and many of us actually are doing that. I have to catch myself making sure I'm not doing that, and I'm sure sometimes it does come across that in that way, but I really truly don't mean to do that. And I know that most people don't really want to do that. They're just hurting, or they're frustrated, or they're angry. But let's, saying sorry and saying, I apologize for saying something that sounded so strongly. There's nothing wrong with that. And then there's nothing wrong with feeling strong about something. But we have to be careful in how we are getting that across to someone else. Education is the key to a lot of this too. I came up with something, and yesterday I came up with, I forgot what you call it. Anyway, it's listen, learn, ask questions, and find a solution. So what I mean in all of that is that we need to listen to each other. We need to understand the issue a little bit more. Look it up. Ask questions. And when you're looking into these topics, okay? So educating ourselves about a certain topic. If it's for, wearing masks, is it really safe or isn't it unsafe? Why do we have to, that type of thing. You should always ask questions as we're looking for the answers to these topics. And so again, it's listen, you learn by educating ourselves. Yes, ask questions. And what I mean by the asking the questions at this point is, why? Why do I need to do all this? Why? Just simple why. Just be that 4-year-old, that little child that keeps asking why. Be that child. Don't settle for it because of someone else says it's this way that it's got to be true. Investigate it, right? And just ask questions. And sometimes it's going to be a family member, and it does happen. So don't worry about it. Just for us to get stronger and to understand about how to get out of this fear base, we need to start feeling like we are in control. We have got to also understand that we are part of all of this. And the only way we're going to come out of it is by doing this. So anyway, so it's listen, learn, ask, and then find solutions. Now, one of the things I started to do, I posted in what we in Channel Connection. That is it's a group online on Facebook that has to do with just for that town. and there's several around in California. So anyway, I posted in there about this family-owned business. It's a fruit stand, and they've been there for several years, and there's been other families that have had that land before. And I was promoting them about how we need to start giving back to each other in our community, support our community. And sometimes, the feedback, when I'm talking with friends and such, they say, oh, it's so expensive. Yes, sometimes it can. And there's good reasons why, because corporations have made it very hard for family-owned businesses to thrive. And so they raise prices, and such on them. And so it makes it really difficult, but they have a dream, and we are to support each other in those dreams. So anyway, if what I was trying to get across, even if they are higher, if we as individuals, through our own town, if we go to that stand, if we just even buy one fruit, each of us, that makes a big impact. So we're working together as a team. We're not just relying on a few, right? So by doing that, they're thriving, we're thriving, because now we're starting to introduce good food into our bodies. And that's another thing. We need to really look at ourselves and understand that we do need to change in the way we eat. We cannot depend on vaccines. Vaccines is not what's going to make our bodies strong. It's what we do to our bodies. It's what's going to make it strong. To build up our immune system, we have to eat better, we have to exercise, and we have to meditate. Find some form of meditation. Meditation is not just all sitting there and going or anything like that, or meditation can be walking, it can be painting, it can be anywhere you can have some time to yourself, and you're just not thinking about anything other than just going with the flow. And that will help your body center, and that actually helps your immune system too. Not one or two of these things. So we really got to do several things to make sure that we keep up our immune system. Now, I know I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, but I have lived for for several years. I just want to say several years. And I am intuitive, and I know I have done research, and I've had my body healed many times over on my own. So doing those things, find ways that we can get our kids out there more, have them engage more in running and things like that. I am not going to tell you that your kids need to go to the park and start playing on equipment or anything like that. I'm not going to tell you what to do in that sense, because I know everyone most people, they're trying to follow the rules because they want to help society. They're trying to help in their own way. But we have to understand something is our children's psyche that's going on. I don't know how many of you are handling it with your children, but if you're not really sitting down with them and asking them how they are doing and what do they think about wearing the mask out in public, do they think they have to because they're sick? You need to have this conversation with them, because I'm telling you, I get out because I do Postmates, and I see children and they looking very sad, especially the real little. The age groups that are really, I'm seeing that more of than anything, is in probably like the ranges of 4 or 5 and probably up to about 10, 11. And they're just going with the flow because that's what mom and dad is telling us to, and we got to be safe. We got to be safe. So you need to really put it out there that not so that they're not becoming afraid, and make sure that possibly that they don't watch the news, because that's a lot of information that they really don't understand. So by journaling, that is something that that is really important, because I have my days. My day was there for a couple of days. I wasn't doing emotionally well because I've been really concerned about society and how things keep changing all the time. And yesterday I really sat down with myself, meditation of course, and then with my journaling. Journaling is extremely important, especially if you don't feel like you can talk to someone. Your journaling is right there. You're talking to source, your higher self, whatever you want to God. When you're journaling, that's who you're talking to, and you really do feel like something is, or someone, yourself, your higher self, however you want to see it, is actually hearing you. And sometimes when you go back and read it, then you go, wow, this is pretty deep, or what can I do to change my feelings on this? So today I'm doing much better because of it, because I really couldn't really talk about it too much. I had one friend that I was able to talk to for a little bit, but it was only through a text. So sometimes that doesn't always help. So anyhow, please, you can depend on me by messaging me on Facebook, on Messenger, or you can email me. Please reach out. Don't isolate yourself. Get a group online that you can, or where you can share ideas of solutions. Let's stop the complaining, because complaining has never ever helped. If we're going to a state of finding solutions, it's going to work. So let's start putting out some really great vibes out there, some love vibes, some compassionate vibes, for understanding vibes. Let's get that out there. And as always, I love all of you, and I really truly hope this has helped. And please put any comments that you like about the video, if you wish, and tell me if if it helped you or not. Love all of you. Mwah.